Yeah.
Have you ever noticed how learning as an adult,
It's completely different
yeah, it's like a totally different beast.
from when you're in school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like trying to learn a new skill for work or like finally tackling that hobby you've always been meaning to.
for sure.
It's just different.
Yeah, it's a whole different ballgame.
It turns out there's this whole field of study about this,
That's right.
adult learning theory.
Adult learning theories, yeah.
And these theories aren't just for academics or teachers.
Definitely not.
Anyone can use them
Yeah,
to improve how they learn.
right.
And it's not just about memorizing facts.
No.
It's about understanding how we as adults process information,
Exactly.
connect it to our experiences, and actually use it in our lives.
It's about application, yeah.
So today we're diving into adult learning theories.
All right.
You've given us a stack of YouTube videos on this topic,
Lots of great content on YouTube.
and we're going to distill the key insights,
That's right.
help you understand which theories resonate with you, and how you can use them on your own learning journey.
Absolutely.
So no dusty textbooks here.
Yeah, no.
We went straight to the source,
Yeah.
YouTube, where the learning experts are these days.
That's where it's at.
Why are these theories important in the first place?
Well, think of it this way.
Okay.
Imagine you're a chef about to create this amazing dish.
Okay. Delicious.
You wouldn't just throw a bunch of random ingredients together
Definitely not.
and hope for the best, right?
No, you need a recipe, a plan
Exactly. You need a recipe.
to create something delicious.
You got it.
So adult learning theories.
Adult learning theories are like those recipes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Right
They
on.
give you the framework for understanding how adults learn best,
I see.
so you can design learning experiences that are really effective,
That are going to work.
that work and are engaging.
Engaging, that's important.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm ready to dive into some of these specific recipes.
Let's do it.
The first one we need to talk about is anwagoji. I practiced saying that, so hopefully I got it right.
You did.
Oh, good.
Andragogy is often considered like the cornerstone,
The OG,
the OG of adult learning theories. Yeah.
developed by Malcolm Knowles.
That's right, Malcolm Knowles.
So tell me more about it.
So andragogy emphasizes a few key principles that really change how we think about learning.
Okay, I'm all ears.
All right, so the first principle is that adults need to know why they're learning something.
Makes sense.
It's about connecting learning to their real-world needs and goals.
So it has to be relevant.
It has to be relevant.
Like, remember that time you had to sit through a training at work
Yeah.
that had absolutely nothing to do with your job?
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
It was pure torture
The worst.
because you just couldn't see how it was relevant.
You're just like, why am I here?
Yeah, and Adago Goji says,
Well, more of that.
let's not do that anymore.
Exactly.
Let's make sure that never happens again.
Let's respect adults' time
Yes.
and energy.
And make sure the learning is meaningful to their lives.
Yes, make it applicable.
Okay, so relevance is key.
Relevance is key.
What's the next principle of andragogy?
So the second principle is that adults are self-directed learners.
Okay.
They want to have a say in how they learn, at what pace they work,
Mhm.
and what resources they use.
It's not about being talked at for hours on end.
No, it's not a lecture.
It's about giving learners some ownership,
Exactly.
some control over their learning journey.
Ownership and control.
All right, and the third principle.
The third principle is that adults bring a wealth of experience to the table.
Oh, yeah.
And good training should tap into that.
Use that experience.
Use that experience.
Okay, so instead of using like generic examples,
Yeah.
you would use case studies
Yeah, case studies are great.
that are based on challenges people actually face in their work or their lives.
Absolutely make it real.
Because that's when things start to click.
That's when the light bulb goes off.
You see how the concepts actually apply to your own world.
Yeah, you make those connections.
Okay, so andragogy is about making learning meaningful,
Meaningful, self-directed,
self-directed,
and experience-based.
experience-based. Those are the three pillars.
And I'm already starting to see how these principles could totally change my approach to learning.
It's powerful stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious about the hands-on learning part.
Oh, yeah.
And I know one of these videos mentioned something called experiential learning.
Ah, yes. Experiential learning.
What is that?
Experiential learning is all about learning by doing.
Oh,
It recognizes that we learn best through direct experience.
so it's not just sitting in a classroom listening to a lecture.
No, it's about getting out there.
Getting your hands dirty.
Getting your hands dirty, exactly.
Okay, but how does it actually work? What does experiential learning look like in practice?
Well, there's a 4-stage learning cycle that really captures the essence of this.
Okay.
It starts with having a concrete experience,
So like actually doing something.
doing something.
Maybe engaging with a task in a new way.
It reminds me of that video where they were talking about communication skills training.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of just listening to someone lecture about communication,
Right.
they have you role-playing.
Role-playing a difficult conversation.
That's a very concrete experience.
That's putting you right in the situation.
Yes, and that's just the first step.
That's just the beginning.
What happens next?
The second stage is reflective observation.
So you do the thing,
You do the thing,
and then you think about it.
and then you take a step back and reflect. What happened? How did it feel?
Yeah.
What worked? What didn't work?
What did I observe?
Exactly.
You're processing the experience, starting to make sense of it.
You're analyzing it.
Okay.
And then that leads to the third stage, abstract conceptualization.
Ooh, that sounds complicated.
It's really not. It's basically where you start connecting the dots
Okay.
and linking your experience to like broader theories or concepts.
I see. So you're not just thinking about what happened. You're extracting those key learnings,
You're finding the meaning.
those strategies,
Exactly.
building a framework for understanding.
Yeah, you're building that framework.
Okay. And the final stage.
Active experimentation.
So you take what you learned
You take what you learned
and you try it out.
and you put it into practice.
You experiment.
Experiment, test different strategies, see what works.
So in that communication example,
Yeah.
you take those strategies that you practiced in the role play and you try them out in a real conversation.
That's it.
Okay. So it's a continuous process of growth and refinement.
It's a cycle.
This is making me rethink how I approach learning.
It's a game changer.
I'm starting to realize I've been missing out on a lot
There's so much to gain.
by not incorporating more of this experiential learning.
Absolutely.
Now, there's one more theory that got my attention.
Okay.
It sounds a little more intense,
All right.
but also incredibly powerful transformational learning.
Transformational learning, yeah. That's the deep stuff.
This is where we get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
So tell me about transformational learning.
So transformational learning is about those deep fundamental shifts in how we see the world.
Go.
And it's not just about acquiring new information.
No.
It's about questioning our deeply held assumptions and belief.
The stuff we don't even realize we believe.
The stuff we take for granted
Yeah,
and never even thought to question.
I can see how that could be uncomfortable,
It can be challenging.
but also incredibly liberating.
Liberating, yeah. It's like those aha moments when you realize you were looking at something from a completely different perspective.
And suddenly everything clicks.
Exactly. Everything clicks.
I remember that example from one of the YouTube videos
Yeah.
about a diversity and inclusion workshop.
Mm-hmm.
The participants were challenged to confront their own biases.
Powerful stuff.
That sounds like a truly transformative experience.
It can be really impactful.
So andragogy, experiential learning, and transformational learning.
3 powerful theories.
Yeah, these are some heavy-hitting theories.
They are.
But I know the videos mentioned a bunch of others as well.
Yeah. There are a lot more.
What do you think? Should we try a rapid-fire round?
I'm game if you are.
All right, let's do it. Bring on the rapid-fire round.
All right, let's go. So we've covered andragogy,
Oh, gee.
experiential learning,
Learn by doing.
and transformational learning.
Deep stuff.
Yeah, those are some of the big ones.
Yeah, big hitters.
But there's a whole bunch of other learning theories out there, too.
It's like a buffet.
It is like a buffet.
And we just had like a little taste.
We just sampled the main course.
But now we're ready for the whole spread.
Let's go back for seconds.
Okay, so one of the videos mentioned something called action learning.
Oh, yeah, action learning. That's a good one.
What is that?
So action learning is all about
Action.
action, tackling real-world problems
Oh.
in a collaborative setting.
Okay.
So you're learning by doing,
Uh-huh.
but with a real-world impact.
So it's not just theoretical.
No, it's about making a difference.
I like that.
Yeah, it's very practical.
Okay, what else is on the menu?
Next up, we have self-directed learning.
Self-directed learning.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty self-explanatory.
It does, but there's a little more to it
Yeah.
than just, picking up a book on a topic you're interested in.
Right.
It's about being really intentional
Okay.
about your learning journey.
Mm-hmm.
You set your own goals. You choose your resources.
So you're in the driver's seat.
You are in control.
Like creating your own personalized curriculum.
Exactly. Tailored to you.
Okay, I like that a lot.
It can be very empowering.
What's next?
Let's talk about project-based learning.
Ooh, project-based learning.
Yeah, this one might bring back some memories of school projects,
Oh, yeah.
but maybe with a more adult twist.
Okay, so how is it different?
So project-based learning is still about learning by doing,
Uh-huh.
but there's a clear end goal in mind.
Okay.
You're usually working on a complex challenge,
Mhm.
often in a team, and you're creating something tangible.
Like a product,
A product, a solution,
a solution to a problem.
or even like a creative piece of work.
I see. So you're not just learning the theory.
No, you're applying it.
You're actually creating something.
Exactly.
Okay. So we've got action learning, self-directed learning, project-based learning.
We're on a roll.
What else?
Now let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about a couple of classic learning theories.
Wait, you bring on the classics.
These are still relevant today.
Okay.
Behaviorism and cognitivism.
Oh, yeah. I vaguely remember those from my psychology classes.
Yeah, they're foundational.
Okay. Remind me about behaviorism.
So behaviorism focuses on how our behaviors are shaped by rewards and punishments.
Like those gold star charts in elementary school.
Exactly.
But how does that apply to adults?
Well, think about workplace training programs
Okay.
that offer bonuses or promotions for completing certain modules.
Oh, I like that kind of behaviorism.
It's all about incentivizing the desired behavior.
I can see how that could be effective. But I also wonder
Yeah.
if relying too heavily on external rewards could kind of undermine someone's intrinsic motivation.
That's a good point.
You want people to be excited about learning for its own sake,
Absolutely.
not just for the prize at the end.
Intrinsic motivation is key.
Okay, now what about cognitivism?
Cognitivism takes a different approach.
Okay.
It's all about the mental processes involved in learning.
Like how our brains actually work?
Yeah, how we take in information,
Uh-huh.
how we process it, how we store it for later use.
So things like memory, attention.
Memory, attention, problem solving.
Okay, and there are techniques based on this
Yeah,
that can make learning more effective.
that's right.
Okay, what are some of those?
Well, like chunking information into manageable bits.
Okay, so not just overwhelming people with too much information.
No, keep it bite-sized.
Connecting new ideas to prior knowledge.
Building on what they already know.
Providing opportunities for retrieval practice.
Testing yourself, quizzing yourself.
Okay, I like those.
It helps to solidify the learning.
So we've got a taste of behaviorism and cognitivism.
A little refresher.
I feel like my brain is getting a workout.
It's good to stretch those mental muscles.
Okay, what's next?
Next up, constructivism.
Constructivism, what is that all about?
This theory emphasizes the active role of the learner
Okay,
in constructing their own understanding.
so it's not about passively receiving information.
No, you're not just a vessel to be filled.
You're actively making meaning.
Yes, through experience, reflection, interacting with others.
It's like building your own knowledge structure.
Building it brick by brick.
Through hands-on activities, discussions, problem solving.
That's a great analogy.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay, we're on a roll.
we are on a roll.
What's next?
Next up is social learning theory.
I bet I can guess what this one's about.
All right, go ahead.
Learning from others.
You got it. Social learning theory highlights the powerful influence of observing and imitating others.
So much of what we learn from other people.
We're social creatures.
We are.
It's in our nature.
So like learning a new skill by watching someone else do it.
Yeah, like a YouTube tutorial
Or picking up a new habit from a friend
or a colleague.
or a colleague, right?
That's social learning in action.
We are influenced by the people around us.
Sure.
2 more theories in our rapid fire round.
2 more to go.
Next up, humanism.
Humanism.
That sounds very philosophical.
It is a bit, but it has practical applications for learning.
Okay, tell me more.
Humanism is a very learner-centered approach.
Okay.
It emphasizes things like personal growth,
Uh-huh.
self-actualization,
Okay.
and the importance of feeling safe and respected in the learning environment.
Feeling comfortable taking risks and making mistakes.
Yeah, it's about creating a supportive and encouraging atmosphere.
So it's not just about the content.
Yep.
It's about the overall learning environment.
The whole experience.
Okay, last but not least, the ARCS model of motivation.
The ARCS model, that's a good one.
I'm intrigued by the name.
It stands for attention, relevance, confidence, and satisfaction.
Okay, break that down for me.
So it's basically a framework
Okay.
for designing learning experiences that are really motivating.
So to make sure people are paying attention,
Capture their attention.
make them feel like the content is relevant,
Relevant to their lives, yeah.
help them feel confident in their ability to learn,
Build their confidence.
and make sure they feel good about the whole experience.
Satisfied, that's the key.
That's a lot to keep in mind.
It is, but it's worth it.
So that was our whirlwind tour.
A buffet of learning theories.
I'm feeling full.
Mentally full.
Yes, but in a good way.
It's a lot to digest.
It is.
But I think it's really important to understand all these different approaches.
Have all these different tools in your toolkit.
Exactly.
So now that we've laid out all these theories,
We've seen the menu.
the big question is,
What are we going to cook up?
how do we actually use this knowledge?
That's where the real fun begins.
Okay, let's get cooking.
Okay, so we've talked about choosing the right learning theories.
Like a chef picking ingredients.
And even how to use them for your own learning. Remember that language example?
I do. It really brought it to life for me.
Exactly.
But now I'm curious about how this works in a more formal setting.
Okay, yeah.
Like, what if you're the teacher
Right.
trying to create these engaging learning experiences for other people?
You're the chef now.
I am the chef.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we do it? Give me those tips.
Okay, so let's start with Njagaboji again.
Okay, back to the OG.
Yeah, the OG, yeah.
Adults need to know why they're learning something.
Exactly. We can't just throw information at them and expect them to soak it up.
You know, they're not sponges.
No, definitely not.
So we have to make it relevant to them.
We have to make it relevant, show them how it connects to their goals, their challenges, their lives.
Okay, so like, if I'm teaching a history class,
Okay, yeah.
I can't just rattle off dates and names.
No.
I have to show how history is relevant to today.
Connect it to current events.
Right.
Show them how the past shapes the present.
Exactly. Or if I'm teaching a marketing class,
Okay.
we can analyze real-world marketing campaigns,
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
see how the theories we're learning are actually applied,
Students love that.
make those connections,
Make those connections.
show them why it matters.
Yes, make it real for them.
Okay, what about self-directed learning?
Ah, self-directed learning. That's a good one.
How do we do that in a classroom?
Well, it's about giving learners choices
Okay,
and control over their learning, even within a structured environment.
okay,
You can offer options for assignments,
okay.
let them choose their research topics,
I like that.
maybe have flexible deadlines.
So it's not just everyone doing the exact same thing at the exact same time.
No, give them some autonomy.
Okay, so they feel like they're in the driver's seat.
They're in control of their learning.
And we can't forget about all that experience that adults bring to the table.
That wealth of
We have
experience.
to use that.
Absolutely.
So how do we do that?
We can use case studies,
Okay.
simulations.
Ooh, I love simulation. Role-playing activities.
Group discussions, yes.
Group discussions are great.
It's like everyone in the room is an expert.
Yeah, we can all learn from each other.
Okay, so that's Amagogi and self-directed learning.
2 key ingredients.
What about experiential learning?
Experiential learning. That's where the fun really begins.
Hands-on.
Right.
Hands-on, yes.
I'm thinking field trips, experiments,
Field trips are always a hit.
projects, simulations,
Simulations, yeah.
guest speakers,
Bring in the experts.
anything that gets people out of their seats and involved.
Engaged, actively participating.
And don't forget about reflection.
Reflection, so important.
It's not just about doing the activity.
No,
It's about thinking about what you learned.
processing the experience,
Yeah.
analyzing it, extracting those key learning.
Turning experience into knowledge.
That's the goal.
And of course, we have to talk about social learning.
We can't leave that out.
Right.
We learn so much from each other.
How can we incorporate that into the learning environment?
Oh, there's so many ways.
Give me some examples.
Group projects,
Classic.
peer teaching,
Ooh, that's a good one.
online forums,
Oh, yeah, for discussions and stuff.
mentoring programs.
So many possibilities.
It's about creating that sense of community.
The learning community.
The learning community where everyone feels supported
Everyone can contribute.
and everyone can learn from each other.
Okay, and for that extra boost of motivation,
You got to sprinkle in some ARCS.
the ARCS model.
Yes. Attention, relevance, confidence, and satisfaction.
Okay, how do we use that in a classroom or a training setting?
Well, first, you have to grab their attention.
Okay, hook them from the beginning.
Start with a compelling story,
Ooh, a story.
a thought-provoking question.
Something that makes them curious.
You want to pique their interest right from the start.
Okay, and then keep reinforcing relevance.
Show them why the content matters.
Connect it back to their lives, their goals, their challenges.
Exactly.
What about confidence?
Confidence is key.
How do we help learners feel confident?
Break the learning down into manageable chunks.
Okay, small steps.
Give them lots of opportunities to practice
Practice makes perfect.
and provide clear and encouraging feedback.
Make them feel like they can succeed.
Yes, build their confidence.
And finally, satisfaction.
Satisfaction. That's the icing on the cake.
How do we make sure learners feel satisfied with the experience?
Give them opportunities to share their learning,
Wow.
to apply it in real-world settings, and to connect with other learners.
Build that community.
Exactly.
It's about creating a learning experience that is not just informative.
No, it has to be more than that.
It has to be engaging.
Engaging, empowering, and rewarding.
I love that.
It's about creating an environment where people feel excited to learn,
Where they feel supported and respected.
where they can thrive.
This has been such an amazing deep dive.
It has been a journey,
We've explored so many different learning theories.
from the classics to the cutting edge.
But if you had to choose just one key takeaway,
Just one
nugget of wisdom,
nugget of wisdom.
how would it be?
Learning is not one size fits all.
Okay, tell me more.
It's a personal journey.
It's different for everyone,
Every learner is unique.
with their own needs and goals.
Their own motivations, their own challenges.
So we have to be flexible and adaptable
As teachers, as trainers.
as learners, as human beings.
Yeah.
And the most exciting thing is
What's that?
we're constantly learning.
We are all lifelong learners.
New theories are emerging.
New technologies are changing how we learn.
The world is changing so fast.
It's an exciting time to be in the field of education.
So we had to be open to new ideas, keep experimenting, keep growing.
Absolutely never stop learning.
That's a wrap on this episode of The Deep Dive.
Thanks for joining us.
We hope you enjoyed this journey into the world of adult learning theories.
We had a blast exploring this with you.
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, tell us what resonated with you.
Which theories are you going to try out?
What are you going to experiment with?
Hit us up on social media or leave a comment below.
We love hearing from you.
Until next time, happy learning.